Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new show on Business Today Television called Top Stocks. This is where we discuss superb quality companies that are in the news for various reasons. It could be earnings, it could be a surge or a fall in stock price, it could be a change in buy or sell ratings, or simply a good entry level to get back into the stock or maybe start a fresh positions. First and foremost, here are the disclaimers. This is just a discussion on several stocks. It is not an invitation to buy or sell this share. I have no trading positions on these stocks that are being discussed, and please consult your financial advisor before you take a position on either side. We will be ideally discussing two stocks in this show on a regular basis. For the two that are in discussion for today, there are Apollo Hospitals, India's largest operator of private hospitals, and the second one is Eicher Motors, which is the biggest maker of high-end motorcycles in India. Let's start with Apollo Hospitals first. What you see in front of you is the stock price of Apollo, which is now at the 200-day moving average. Fairly recently, Apollo declared its earnings. There was a 14% year-on-year rise in sales to 5,527 crore rupees. The net profit rose 52% to 379 crore rupees. The market cap of Apollo Hospitals is somewhere to the tune of 90,370 crore rupees. Let's focus a bit on what Apollo does. It has about 73 private care hospitals across India and overseas, about 2,300 diagnostic centers. It also has India's largest pharmacy chain inbuilt, a presence of 6,000 plus pharmacies across India and overseas. In fact, more than 50% of all online prescriptions that you fill and those drugs that get delivered to your doorsteps, despite any online chain, has been filled by Apollo Hospitals pharmacy. So please keep that in note. It has more than 10,000 beds and is one of the most premier hospital chains across the world. Now let's look at more details that are there on Apollo. First, the stock price. Right in front of you, we've seen a high of about 7,517, which was there on Jan 7th, 2025. From then on, the stock has fallen to 6,200 odd and has shown a bit of recovery today. This is really important because if you see the long-term performance of Apollo in terms of how the stock has performed, each year for the last 5 years, the stock has appreciated 30%. Now this is something worth noting because this is representing a good entry price based on the financials and based on a lot of other data. Let's look at what Elara Financials has to say about Apollo Hospitals. Let me just bring this up for you. There was a research report filed on 11th February by Elara. It says the target price for Apollo is 6,979. It has a rating of accumulate and an upside of about 7-8% from current levels. Let's dig into this report a little deeper. Elara writes, and it quotes Apollo's management in terms of guidance, that the company is in position to add 3,500 beds over 11 locations in the next 3 to 4 years. As far as the Kolkata, Gurgaon and Hyderabad facilities are concerned, they are likely to be operational by end of FY26. There is a plan to add about 1,737 beds with 50% operational in FY26 and the rest in FY27. As also you see average revenue per operating bed which will likely improve given the rising surgical volumes and improved clinical mix and a favorable payer mix. Remember, Apollo Hospitals is primarily one of the biggest beneficiaries of this rising trend in private health care. What's more important, its revenue, its sales, and its operating margin are not connected to the problems that we are facing from the US in terms of tariffs. Everything is homegrown. Yes, a large percentage of its business comes from medical tourism along the Indian subcontinent, and some of that has shown a dip primarily from Bangladesh, given the problems that we are facing with that neighbor. What else is interesting? Average revenue per operating bed is projected to grow 6 to 7% per year in the coming years, and the management aims to reach 72% occupancy before adding new beds. So this is what the management has informed its shareholders for the coming quarters. Now let's look at one very interesting thing that is there. As of December 31st, 2024, Apollo Hospitals operated about 8,000 beds across its network. The overall occupancy has improved to 68% from 66% in the previous year, and this is primarily driven by increased order flow. Let's look at some other interesting data that I have for you. The median PE, price earnings, for Apollo is at the moment 69.3. The price to book is 11.5. If you look at the 5-year median PE, Apollo is quoting at a discount to its 5-year median PE of about 88. Please keep that in mind. At the moment it's 69. Price to book is almost there, 11.5, which is not much of a difference. Let's look at the 10-year PE of Apollo Hospitals, which is at the moment the same, about 69. So on a 10-year basis, Apollo Hospitals is evenly placed, but given the fall that you have seen in stock price, it represents an opportunity, according to Elara Capital, to come back into the counter and look at a price target of 6,939. The price that you see on Apollo today, about 6,415, was last observed on 30th of July. You will also see a lot of data which tries to compare Apollo's performance over a 10-year period compared with the BSE Sensex. In the last 10 years, Apollo Hospitals each year has appreciated 17% compared with the 10% rise in the Sensex each year. So this is an outperforming stock. Let me also highlight the kind of shareholders that are there in Apollo. It will give you an idea about the strength that the company has observed. When you look at the promoter holding, it is in the range of 29.33%. Face value for the stock is 5. Life Insurance Corporation has increased its stake in Apollo Hospitals from 1.58% of equity capital in March 2024 to about 3.74% in the reported quarter of December 2024. What else is interesting is that there are shareholders like Government of Singapore, Schroders International Selection Fund, and of course HDFC Mutual Fund, SBI Mutual Fund, Axis Mutual Fund that has increased its stake over the last quarter ending December 2024, and a whole host of funds such as Mirai, Nippon, Aditya Birla Sun Life, Franklin Templeton. So please keep an eye out on Apollo Hospitals. This is a quality stock which can be a part of your long-term portfolio. This is again not an advice to buy or sell. Please consult your individual financial advisor when you look at companies to add to the long-term wealth of your portfolio. Remember, Apollo's main business is largely domestically oriented and has little or no connection with the global problems that we are facing with supply chains, with a tantrum that is happening in the US, and of course the kind of pain that the broader equity market is undergoing. Keep an eye out on Apollo Hospitals, and please also consult an independent financial advisor. Again, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but just a recap of all the major things that have happened on Apollo Hospitals. The next stock, ladies and gentlemen, is Eicher Motors. For those who are in love with two-wheelers, Eicher makes the most iconic bike in India, which is Royal Enfield. We'll start with the stock price of Eicher, which again, as a part of the broader market sell-off, has come off from its most recent highs. It hit an all-time high of 5,500 rupees somewhere on 3rd of February. At the moment at 49.20 is where Eicher quotes. It has fallen 7 consecutive days in a row, and perhaps this fall is unwarranted. Now, these are two broader themes that are running in Eicher. One, the tax cut which the government of India has forwarded in the form of about 1 lakh crore rupees to the Indian middle class starting April 1 will most likely flow into consumer businesses, and in them Eicher is one of the best ones. Let's look at how earnings in Eicher have improved, and they have improved very substantially. Let me just start with the quarterly number. Third quarter sales at Eicher rose about 19% year on year and 16% quarter on quarter to 4,973. These are record quarterly sales by Eicher, and at the same time you've seen a sharp increase in consolidated profit to about 1,171 crores, which is up 17.5% year on year and 6.4% quarterly. So sequential and year on year growth on Eicher is wonderful. If you look at how Eicher is trading in terms of valuations, it is at a 9% discount to its 5-year median PE of 36. Apart from that, Eicher has also announced the launch of 6 new Royal Enfield models in this quarter, which is ongoing. What is really interesting is that it had launched 5 models in the quarter gone by, and that is the reason why you have seen improvement in revenue. So there were Goan Classic 350, Scram 443cc, Classic 650, Gorilla 450 and Bear 648cc. The target consumers are off-road enthusiasts, of course heritage riders and lifestyle owners of bikes. Apart from that, it also has a commercial vehicles business where you saw a 2% rise in commercial vehicle sales versus a 2% fall in the industry number. So at the moment, when you look at profitability, the company is investing in strengthening its brand. It's led to higher marketing and expansion expenses in the third quarter, and of course there were higher raw material costs. That was the reason why operating margin slipped a bit to about 20.5% versus 22.6% in the year ago quarter. Again, if you look at how Eicher has performed over the last so many years, let me share that data with you. That's right there in front of you. It's been an outperforming stock when it comes to its comparison with the broader markets, and Eicher Motors over the last 5 years has appreciated 21% each year versus 13% rise on the BSE Sensex. In the last 1 year, the stock has gone up 29%. The Sensex is up just 6%. In the last 5 years, each year, Eicher Motors has given a return of 21% compounded versus 13% increase in the Sensex. So these are two stocks that we are talking about, both large caps, in today's Top Stock show, and we'll be continuing this show again at 2 p.m. when we will be discussing 2 quality mid caps. So stay tuned with us, ladies and gentlemen. Again, as I say, this show is not a recommendation to buy or sell these counters. This is just an effort to keep you appraised of all the quality stocks that are available at decent prices, much below their all-time highs, and there is a specific reason for covering them. Should you again take a position in this, please consult an independent financial observer. Thank you for watching us. Have a nice day. I'll be back at 2 p.m.
welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. All that glitters is gold. Gold prices are again hitting record highs after record highs. In fact, in this new year 2025 itself, there are 12 instances when we have already seen gold hitting fresh record highs. In the year 2024, gold was